Okay, so today we're going to be working with a model called the chip model and the charge field model from chapter 5.1. So this model is very fun as we can use manipulatives to create a concrete method for the students to understand negative and positive charges. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our traditional addition, which is going to be 2 plus 3. I went ahead and did my circle for the charge and field part of the model, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my chips that I have pre-cut for the chip model. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and explain to you a little bit about the vocabulary involved in this part of the model. So our vocabulary for today is going to be neutralizers. A neutralizer cancels each other out. I'm going to go ahead and show that a little bit more and talk about it in the process of the problem that we're going to be doing. So neutralizer is basically going to cancel each other out, and you'll see how that's demonstrated a little bit later. So we're going to start off with our traditional addition, which is 2 plus 3. As you can tell, they're both positive, so we're going to use our yellow chips to show our positive signs and numbers. We're going to use our negative ones that are going to be red. So we're going to go ahead and start with our 2 positive charge models. And then it's telling us we have to add 3. So we're going to go in and add 3 yellow positive chips. 3. Okay, so we can go in and go ahead and count them, which they're going to be our 2 that we started off with plus our 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our answer is going to be 5, as we can see demonstrated by our chip model. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is our answer. We started off with 2, and we're going to go ahead and add the 3. That is the chip model part for this problem. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you the field charge model. We're going to go ahead and start with a positive sign for a positive model. And since they're both positive, they're both going to be a plus sign. So it's going to be 1, 2 that we started off with. I'm going to go ahead and switch colors so you can see the ones coming in, the ones we're going to add. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Now, since we're adding, we're going to go ahead and add all of the plus signs in our circle. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, our answer is going to be 5, as it is shown in the field charge model. Okay, so that is the first one. I went ahead and did the problems and circles for the other ones to save some time. So with these models, we're going to go ahead and do -2 plus 3. With the negative sign coming in, we're going to go ahead and grab our red, which are negative chips. And we're going to go ahead and start with that. I'm going to go ahead and cover this one so we don't get confused. So we're going to start off with 2 red, indicating that it's the -2, 2 red. And then we're going to go ahead and it's asking us to add 3 positive chips. So we're going to go in and add 1, 2, and 3. We have our 2 negative and our 3 positive shown at the model. So that's going to indicate our chip model. And as you can tell, we have 2 red and 2 yellow. So that means this set is going to cancel out and this set is going to cancel out. These are going to be our neutralizers. They cancel each other out. we have one positive, one negative, one positive, one negative. Because if you recall, we started with 2 negative and we have 3 positive. This one does not have a negative, so only these 2 sets cancel out. So we are left with 1 positive chip. So our answer is going to be 1. So that is our chip model for that problem. We're going to go ahead and do it with our positive and negative charge. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a red pen just to demonstrate with color our 1 and 2 negatives. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but we're going to go ahead and try with our yellow for our positive charge. If you recall over here, we're going to do positive 1, 2, and 3. It's a little bit easier if you align them so you can see which ones exactly cancel out. So this is going to cancel out and this pair is going to cancel out, and you are left with 1 positive charge. So that's going to be the chip model and the charge and field model demonstration for this problem. We're going to go ahead and work with, and I'm going to cover this up so we don't get confused. We're going to go ahead and work with 2 plus negative 3. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the chip model. Since it's asking for 2 positives, I'm going to start with my 1, 2 positive chips. And then it's going to be asking for 3 negative chips. So again, we're going to go ahead and line them up so we can see which ones are going to cancel out, if any. So in this one, we're going to start with the 2 positive. We're going to have our 3 negative. And if you remember, I said in the previous problem that they cancel out, our neutralizers cancel out. So since we have 1 set here, that's going to be a neutralized set, so it's going to cancel out, and this is going to be a neutralized set, so it's going to cancel out. So we're going to be left with 1 negative. Remember, red indicates negative chip, so it's going to be, our answer is going to be 1 negative, negative 1. Because if you recall, this is a set that canceled out by the neutralizers, and this is another set of neutralizers. So we're left with 1 red chip. So that is going to be our chip model for this problem. And we're going to go ahead and do our charge of field model. So it's going to ask us to go in with 2 positive chips. So we're going to change now into the gear of our plus and minus, our charges. So it's going to be 2 positive, and then it's going to ask for 1 negative, 2 negative, and 3 negative charges. So again, like our chip model, these are going to be canceled out by the neutralizers, and this is going to be a set of neutralizers. So again, we're left with negative 1 because red indicates negative. So negative 1. And that is our chip model and charge and field model. With our vocabulary, again, let's do a little recap. Our vocabulary is going to be neutralizer. They're going to cancel each other out. As shown over here that we did, they cancel each other out. And this is what we're going to work with today. This is what we learned. Trying to get everything in the camera. And that is our chip model and our charge and field model.